what you see. Make sure to hit the button now to stay updated on when I am up. I have no idea what else to say now, so I just end up this. Welcome to AmberAnkNA, and this is my channel.
Hello everyone. Well, sorry it's been a while. I'm sorry about that. 2 weeks and 4 days to be exact. Oh boy. Oh, just sorry about that. Before the twice spring, so before I started what I was I started working last week, basically 10 days ago. I enjoy it. It's tiring and a lot after it, basically. I am to blame for it, to tell the truth. But hey, it's something I need, and it's actually am helping a lot, basically. I will say though, because of this, my days I do this limited, because I'm only gonna do this on my days off. When I come home from work, I'm poop. I'm so poop, and I'm sore. So, sorry ahead of time. But anyways, because this, yeah. Before this started last week, though, I could have totally spent the 8th through the 14th, basically, recording this stuff. I could have. But I chose not to. But, oh well, I'm finally here, and I'm gonna get started. Chapter 14 of The Only Way Now. A Darkened Plume. And this is Master's journal that here, so I am gonna talk in Master's voice. Because it's all it is, basically. December 19th, 2013. It's been a while since I read in here, and part of me feels silly needing this thing anymore. When I read my old entries, I sort of cringe. I used to draw doodles everywhere, and it all seems so childlike now for some reason. I feel like a completely different person from the day I was accepted into backlog until now. I probably won't write every day. After the last couple of months, I'm hoping this will help clear my mind a bit. Plus, I heard Chloe laugh this morning for the first time in what seems like forever. I really tailed up hearing the old Chloe sound there. Using Whistle was hard on her. Losing Whistle a second time broke her. We left Arcadia Bay. We had a long conversation. Well, I did all the talking while Chloe drove us to Seattle. Occasionally, she would nod and mumble, "Yeah, okay, Mass," she say, while blankly staring at the road. I catch her looking over at me from time to time, but not much more. I explained how Rachel was a hero by saving not only our lives, the lives of countless others. The cycle demanded her life, and she sacrificed herself, making damn sure it wouldn't be either of us. And choosing to save us, she tricked the cycle, which accepted her life, rather than our lives. Apparently, we're setting the timeline to the Wizard of Storm Day. Not 1% how it, I'm not 100% on how any of it works, though. I also explained what I learned about our deconnection the washer, the narcotic level, the yin and the yang stuff. Elsie could fast forward while I could rewind. She only nodded. I think she has accepted everything, but I really don't know. Breaks my heart seeing my beautiful Blue Hill punk attacks and chewed. So, Wake Forest. She did open up a little bit yesterday. She briefly expressed regret in not calling Joyce during the week that never happened. At the time, we didn't understand we only had 1 week before we returned to the day of the storm. How could we have known? I do regret not reaching out to Kate or Warren to eat too. Part of me is still hopeful Kate somehow survived in the hospital. I tried her phone several times, but seems to have been disconnected. David stuck around town, helping pull bodies from the rubble. From my understandings, he worked as a point person on the rescue team. He and Victoria were among the only survivors by being down in the fucking dog run during the storm. As soon as we left, he called Chloe and they had a similar conversation to the first one. It was kinda eerie. For that, she was mostly silent, despite my pleas to not keep things bottled up inside. She did hold my hand tightly most of the trip. That was really nice. This is probably a textbook somewhere with a definition for how she feels. How would science even begin to explain what we went through during those weeks? Aside from the laughter this morning, she seems to have 2 settings. 1, hollow, that's empty. 2, overly protective of me. She snapped at the gas station attendant last weekend for disrespecting me. Where was I? Oh, here we are. He didn't even really do anything wrong. I questioned the chains he handed back, and he corrected me. As he dumped down his throat and caused a huge scene, I had to drag her away. She doesn't want me to be out of her sight for longer than a minute or so. Then she was in Cruz's bathroom time. The shower, I can hear the door crack. She briefly shakes her head and listens, just to make sure I'm okay. We hug all the time, but it feels more like she's just holding on to me rather than any of the friction. I feel a little guilty because all I want to do is be around her. I can't say I mind her protectiveness. She also kisses me on the lips sometimes. It feels more mechanical, never more than for a second or two. We not had any more sour-like experiences together, which I really want to get back to at some point. If Dale felt she's still in love with me. I just admit the groupie stuff. Those were my favorites. Like everything else, we need time. I dismiss us. Time. Sorry about that. Had to take a quick break to cough. But I'm okay though. It's strange thinking about that word now. Haven't been able to rewind in months. I think it's good. It's gone for good. I'm really glad. I can see why Tom turned out the way he did. Having the power for 6 months? Wowzer. In a way, I miss how it made my body tingle. It being gone, though, means my purpose has been fulfilled. We might actually be able to move on and have normal lives. One day. I hope. Speaking of normal lives, I am studying to earn my GCE. The exam is scheduled for early February. I couldn't go back to school after everything we've been through, but Mom and Dad insisted I earn my diploma. They've been so supportive of me and Chloe, which I'm grateful for. They told us we could live with them as long as we needed to. We never had the conversation, but they know we sleep in the same bed. I noticed that Mom saw us a few weeks back when Chloe kissed me goodnight in the hallway. In the hall. Caesar smiled and turned back towards the hallway. I picked the camera back up. I guess I never completely put it down. But I once went several weeks without the desire to snap a shot. Even though we both a bit fucked up, Chloe's still as beautiful as ever. I can't resist taking as many photos of her as possible. See, I haven't covered her hair since before the first storm week. It's beginning to fade some. But, hang on. But I really like it. You can see the strawberry blonde wig showing this a bit. Pure Chloe was wonderful. There's something special about her natural hair color coming through. It probably reminds me of us playing as kids together. Those were some of the best days of my life. Tonight, in bed, I am going to ask Chloe to cuddle with me. She used to cleanse Waistel's further ailing to her chest and fall asleep facing the opposite direction. But I always woke up with a part of her body touching me. Sometimes as a foot or a hand was casually grazing my leg or arm. Other times she has an arm completely over me. I feel pretty messed up when I think about what we went through. But I can't even imagine what she's feeling now. I realize abandonment is all she's ever truly known, which is largely my fault, in a way. She's afraid that something bad would happen to me. Deep down she feels I will in some way leave her. That will never fucking happen. I am never leaving you, Chloe. Never! December 20th, 2013. Last night was some amazeballs. I asked Chloe if she could hold me, and she readily agreed. We didn't talk much, but we kissed a lot. It was so sweet, and wow. Writing this fills my heart. Even though she's been lying next to me every night for months, I missed her so much. Feels like we've been wandering around in a fog for the longest time. The last few days have been a little better. I can see the beacon guiding us into the light. We have a long way to go, but the waters still seem as choppy as they once were. Sorry about that. December 22nd, 2013. We fell asleep in each other's arms again. When I woke up, Chloe was lying there staring at me. Her clear sapphire eyes are the perfect sight to wake up to. My dog! I felt like a schoolgirl, hoping my questess noticed me. The best part, when she realized I was awake after our wise walk, she smiled at me. Fuck. She fucking smiled! I love it when she smiles. Then she traced my face with her fingertips. We kissed for several minutes. She asked if we could talk, and I nearly wept. Yeah, I know. It's only been a couple of months, but it feels like so much longer since we had a real conversation. So busy to tell me how pretty I am, over and over again. I've never been good at taking compliments, but when she says it, I believe it. We haven't connected like that in quite a while. No, we really didn't really talk about anything ice-shaking, but I think that's absolutely fine. We had enough earth-shattering set to last 10 lifetimes. I keep seeing signs she's coming around, but have this feeling that something is still missing. I noticed Chloe rubbed Rachel's feather on her necklace earlier, and it gave me an idea. At this point, it feels like my idea will help Chloe and me move on. I just want to give her something she wasn't able to have before. With Christmas coming up, me having zero moolah, this will be my gift to her. The toughest part will be getting her to give me enough time and space to set it up without her knowing. If I still had my wheel on, it would be much easier. I definitely need my parents to help. Something that just feels right about Christmas Eve. It feels like the perfect time. Chloe! Master's mom called from downstairs, which is all part of the plan. I need your help! Chloe started up from her normal spot on the bed and muted the TV. She quickly turned her head and locked eyes with Mass. Suddenly stopped. Most days, she just laid around watching Netflix or a cable show, with the occasional hugging session that Mass loved so much. She really interacted with Ryan and Vanessa besides infrequent meals at the dinner table. She mainly remained silent, with short one-word answers during those awkward moments. The brunette nodded in confirmation, and Chloe opened the door, heading out of the room and down the stairs. Mass knew she did not have much time, so I quickly pulling off the small trail folding table and large cardboard box her father had hidden in the upstairs closet. She set up the table in the corner of her room and covered it with a nice ceramic tablecloth. From the box, she pulled out a single candle, 3 nice silver dinner plates, silverware, and a vase already containing 2 wells. On one plate, Matt laid another, a white rose next to each plate setting. A wine glass awaiting to refill from her bottle, her dad offered without question. Over the back of one shelf, Matt carefully placed a familiar federal shirt. Matt's mask completed the preparation. She reached into the box for the remaining items, moved over to the other wall, her photo wall. Carefully, she rearranged the pictures in order to make room and fill the spaces with dozens of new additions. She had this new arrangement in her mind for days, so it was nice to finally realize it, with the photos that she had recently received back from the printers. Matt sat back and worked at her handiwork, hastily straightening a larger picture that was slightly crooked, and then dimmed the light so only the cable glowed by candlelight. It was time to get dinner before Chloe caught on. Max quietly opened the door and looked to make sure Chloe was not in sight. She headed down the stairs and poked her head into the kitchen just as her mom turned to work on the meal. Each caught the other's attention. "Where's Chloe?" Max whispered as loud as she could and still remained a soft voice. "She's getting a couple of bottles of wine," Mom responded, pointing towards the glass. That's not going to be enough time, is it?" Vanessa winked at her door. "Don't worry, sweetie. I'll actually get the ones on the bottom. But I know Chloe, she won't pass up a challenge." "Sneaky. Is everything ready?" "Go grab the plates and I get things taken care of down here." Max quickly raced back up to her room, collected 2 plates, and returned to find her mom slicing dinner. The smell of the roasted meat, potatoes, and other side dishes filled the kitchen with savory scents. They both carefully placed 2 servings for each of the girls, and then Max headed back upstairs. When she reached her room, Lacey hadn't had the hands to open the door. Luckily, her mom had knowingly followed behind her and helped her not only open the door but offer a piece of ice. "Max, you might need this." Vanessa pulled out a corkscrew for the unopened bottle of wine ale. A quick wink and a small chuckle back downstairs to finish dinner. As Craigie closed the door, set the plates in place, Sockley uncorked the bottle and poured some wine for each place, saying, with the camel lit, Max moved back to the door, cracking it open just in time to hear Chloe enter from the cars. Her mom and her girlfriend hold a brief conversation, and then she heard footsteps on the stairs. As Joey opened the door, walked out, and closed it behind her back to patiently wait for the person this whole evening was about. A few seconds later, faded blue hair, then blue eyes, and finally a plump goddess rose from the stairwell. They were met by this sort of brunette. They looked at each other quietly. Then Max reached out her hand and softly took Chloe's, gliding her into the candlelit room. Max, what's this? It's for both of us. It's for both of you. And it's for both us. Both? Chloe was caught off guard. She looked perplexed yet curious. You and Rachel, Chloe. Come, sit down. Max pulled out the chair directly across from Minota and waited for her partner to sit. Then Max sat down between the two, completing the trio of guests. Chloe looked at the table and the place settings. Lucy gazed at the roses in the vase and the one across from her, and realized what Max was doing. Her facial expression showed a whirlwind of emotions, but the blue-haired girl remained silent. It's okay, Chloe. Take your time. Why don't you try dinner? Chloe looked down at her plate and then back at her girlfriend, then back to her plate. She started in on her dinner, slicing meat, tasting small bites, flipping the wine. All the while, she couldn't stop looking at the vacancy across the table. She continued to unnecessarily bottle up her feelings to the point her body started to shake with unruly sobs. Max reached over and took Chloe's free hand, covering it with her own. Both young women sat there as the candle's light slowly flickered, seeming just enough to shine on the three forces, two together, one apart, waiting at a place of honor, friendship, and love. Silence filled the room, and the girls could only hear each other breathing. You were right, You said you wished we had met, and that we would be great friends. Matt spoke the same with a chain of words, not more than a whisper. Yeah, Chloe responded. And we did meet. We became friends. Chloe looked towards her, eyes wide and wonderingly. She blinked once, and the tears started. She squeezed her eyes closed, trying to stop them, trying to be strong. But nothing in space or time or space could stop it. Chloe attempted to restrain her emotions as the tears dropped onto the white tablecloth. Gasping for air that she could not kiss, anguish and pain poured out as she finally moaned her lost anger. Max painfully moved her chair next to Chloe's and encircled her arms around her girlfriend's neck and chest, while Chloe sought the refuge on Max's shoulder. So I lay there crying onto Max, soaking her shirt. All the while, Max walked her and with the quiet words of love, understanding, and encouragement to let it all out. In the dim room, candle lit slowly sank, casting ever-chasing shadows on the ceiling and walls, yet never hiding the three flowers that adored the table. Chloe cried until she was out of tears and still she clung to Mass. Wrecking sobs had assaulted her and left her voice rough and broken. It's so hard, Mass. I know. Mass slowly and gently rubbed her girlfriend's back, giving her as much time as he needed. Minutes passed as the girls held each other. Why? Why did it have to be her? Why Rachel? Mass was silent for a few more seconds. She turned and kissed the top of Chloe's head, then carefully lifted her girlfriend's chin to gaze into her puffy yet still glorious eyes. 'Cause she's our angel. Rachel chose us. She chose to give us our chance. And she will always have a special place in our hearts. Chloe gazed longingly into Mass's eyes, searching for meaning and truth in the one person she trusted above all others. In those eyes, reflecting the 3 candlelit roses, she found what she needed. She found friendship and gratitude for what Rachel had done. But more, she found an overwhelming sense of love pouring out to her. A love that had been given a chance because Rachel had chosen them over herself. The love wrapped itself around Chloe's broken heart like a warm blanket, comforting her, melting her. As she continued to gaze at her new love, Mass carefully dread Chloe's cheek where his head went. Then she took both of her hands and slowly stood up. I have something to say. So I have something for you, Mass said, walking backwards, never once looking away from Chloe. Mass guided them towards the other side of the dim room. She reached over and turned up the lights to illuminate the fourth photo wall. She? Chloe raised her eyes and looked behind Mass. The familiar photo wall was always Mass's personal gallery of memories. It was a record of events with more often than not, featured herself or the 2 of them together. Yet this evening it had been rearranged. Chloe's eyes drifted amongst the images and picked out new additions. Some were photos Mass hadn't taken. These pictures featured herself and Rachel. In some cases, Rachel alone. The images presented fond memories of fun, companionship, new love, and excitement the 2 girls shared in their time together. The cluster of new images were grouped around a larger one. The centerpiece lit more brightly as if the lighting had been purposely arranged. It was a shot of the 3 of them Mass had taken right before Rachel left for UK Bay. It showed all 3, laughing, happy, and most importantly, together. Having been in her bag during the storm weeks, the photos thankfully made it out unsaved. Below the picture was a framed caption crafted carefully with twisted lettering. Hello, best friends forever. Rachel Dawn Amber. Our friend, our hero, our angel. Should you find your way back to us, you will always be welcome. Always. Until then, you live on in our hearts forever. Beside the poster, in a nicely matted blue frame, was a single napkin. The napkin seamlessly contained the words that not only touched Mass's heart deeply, but also filled her with strength and courage, allowing her to break free from the washer's trance. It signified the poor love the 2 girls shared for one another, and belonged amongst the wall of serene and loving memories. Next to the blue frame and beside the living was a fallen, unadored pig. Chloe was memorized by the scene and continued to focus on the 3 of them. The images Images slanted in her view until the only person she could see was Rachel herself. She had always been beautiful, but this specific picture was something else. It captured who Rachel really was. Not just her looks, but her fun-loving, often impulsive, friendly self in the moment of her real life. And as Corey stared, it was like Rachel knew who was watching, as he was scattered for all time looking back at the camera. At Corey, a small bottle like Goodwin one from Corey's face. With some movements, Corey released Master's hand and reached to her necklace. On it was Rachel's photo earring that had been close to her heart these many days. She quickly released it from its tether, cupped it in both hands, and raised it to her lips, brushing it lightly. Thanks, Rachel. She then placed the photo treasure onto the inquiry plate. With it floated once in the air corners and then came to the west, next to it, next to the photograph. It completed the same. Thank you, Mass. After a few moments, the pair returned to the table, each larger glass and sword facing the empty chair. A silent toast to the friend. The dishes had been put away and the table cleaned for a couple of hours. Master and Corey were in the middle of the bed, laying on their sides, just gazing at one another. Two pairs of beautiful sapphire eyes locked, hands were held and fingers intertwined. As the girls embedded their love, enjoying the occasional love a kiss or two. Mass, the old girl Jimmy said after a gentle kiss on the lips. Merry Christmas. Mass looked over at the clock at her nightstand. It would 12 o'clock a.m. Thank you for my gift. It means so much to me. Merry Christmas, Chloe. I love you. Mass, I love you too. I'm sorry for being so distant for so long. That movable thingy was so damn beautiful. I don't deserve you. No, Chloe. We deserve each other. You're my perfect person. Please don't apologize for agreeing. I'm never leaving your side. Never. Do not forget that. In sickness and in health, I will always be here forever. Should we just say our vows and go ahead and get his? The older girl responded with a wink. Look, I mean, we might as well, right? Well, you have to propose to me first. Matt giggled in her hands. Whoa, why do I have to be the one to ask? Shouldn't you ask me, Master? She generally pushed the freckled girl's shoulder, batting her eyes in the progress. It doesn't matter one bit to me who asks, or if we do or don't. No piece of paper is needed to know we are in love with each other. Chloe. I know I keep saying it, and I know it was in your amazing poem, but I can't stop thinking about how lucky I am. You're my best friend, and you're so much more. You're my everything. No matter what happens next, we together, nothing else matters. So groupy, Caulfield. So damn groupy. Chloe pushed the girl over on her back, crawled on top, and began kissing and dragging her tongue along the sensitive area of her neck. Max released a pleasurable moan while reaching up and running her fingers gently through slightly faded blue hair. The older girl sat up, straighting her best friend, and tied her hair back with a band. All that matters to me, Maximus. I love you more than anything in this world. She straight off and back to her side of the bed and continued. You said you don't apologize, but I really am sorry. I know you waited on me, and you've been with me through this. It felt like I was trapped in the dark crowd and couldn't see my way through. The only thing that kept me sane was your love. Your clear blue eyes kept through the darkness. Your beautiful, flawless face and freckles radiated, and Corey, are you trying to make me cry? The brunette looked, cause it might just work. Who's the group now, Dark? Guess we both are. I can't help it. It's all your fault, Massy Mass. Corey began attacking her partner with barrage of pecks and short kisses. She pulled back and traced Master's freckles with her fingertips as she quickly did. Chloe, I feel like we're at a crossroad. Mass Molson, chasing us out. What are we doing next? I guess we need to get our own place at some point. I earned my GED in a couple of months. You still sure you don't want to get yours? Mom and Dad said they pay, and it would be easy for you. You're the smartest person I know. Nah, I'm still sure. Not really, answered said. But, Mass, I, didn't want to say anything yet. But I have an idea for what we do next. Since I didn't get you anything for Christmas, I want to do something special for you. Focus on your GED for now. I do my thing. Aw, Chloe, you don't have to do anything for me. Dude, are you kidding me? I made a promise to myself to take care of you. I know you taking care of me the past couple of months, but now it's my turn. Plus, if this thing turns out good, it'd be for the best, both of us and our future. All I want to do now is give you special experiences. Every experience is special if you let me, Chloe. No more words were needed. The girls embraced it, and their affectionate tuggled of kisses and playful groping, eagerly falling asleep in each other's arms. Holy shit. I'm gonna read the notes here. I want to give a huge and personal thank you to Jib. The chapter was co-authored by him for a very specific reason. I always knew Max was going to give Chloe the closure she needed so she would be able to fully let Rachel go. The memorial was planned from the beginning, but Jib helped bring the scene to life with some amazing and beautiful words. She puts it, Rachel holds a special place in my heart, so I couldn't think of a better person to assist with this important moment for Chloe, as well as Max. We have also within the same scene from Rachel's point of view. Rachel made the ultimate sacrifice to give Max and Chloe what they deserve, each other. His Ray's point of view once helps to show this in a more vivid manner. You'll find it below. Well, she chose them. 2 more chapters to go. Thank you for hanging around. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, that's what it says. Okay? Listen. Listen. Here. It's in here. I want to know something. I know it said that. I know it said that. I know. Alright. Though I will admit something. I am going to have this chapter be basically that one shot. That's because why not? So, yeah. So, Clark, I know you're going to be listening. Expect chapter 13 to be, this chapter to be done again, but in Rachel's point of view. I kind of want to. Because why not? Because I just feel like it. So, yeah. I'm gonna go start that chapter.